MCK Chief Portfolios were recently divvied up, and KTV spoke to the Chiefs to discuss their particular files. On this episode, Chiefs Lloyd Phillips, Gina Deer, Carl Horn, Martin Leborgne, Christine Zachary-Deom, Clinton Phillips, and Grand Chief Mike Delisle Jr.
This term I've taken on a bigger role in Quebec-Kanietahawi relations, more because there's a change in provincial government with the Parti Québécois back there. So we need to see how they're going to play ball in Kanietahawi and with Kanietahawi. So I think it's important for the Grand Chief, the spokesperson, to be able to engage directly with the province, either at a ministerial level or at the premier level, and see where we come out of this. And we have a lot of files that are on the table, like transport and taxation and so on, but we want to know what their game plan is in terms of addressing Kanietahawi issues first. So the role of Grand Chief is more of, like I said, the chairperson to assure that things progress and everybody has their say at the table, but also take a lead role in external negotiation.
Well, this year we took a little more time than normal to put together the portfolios, and we looked at more of structuring them in a way in which it makes clearer for a chief who was involved in, say, a public security sector, that you're covering all spectrums of that portfolio, rather than having only part of it for one chief and another part does the other. Similar to lands as well, there used to be a couple of chiefs involved with lands. Now we're streamlining it in an approach where it's more effective and more efficient. And for community members, that means, you know, when you contact somebody at the council, you know, that person has the knowledge and the ability to address your issue specific to, say, lands or public security. So I think it's a matter of being more user-friendly to the community, as well as a more effective politically.
Okay, I'm sitting on the economic development portfolio, gaming portfolio. I have the third-party relations, and that relates to the hydro. There's also the public security, negotiations with government for the peacekeepers. And I have lands pertaining to Jawardo. I'm evaluating all my portfolios and the time that I need to dedicate to them. There's a lot of meetings involved in all these portfolios, so I want to ensure that I don't take on too much. I would like to be able to spend time working on them and give the time and dedication to each one. Well, I'm also on the Dewa file, Dewa Dunizakta file, and you know, I would like to see revenue generation. I'd like to be part of something that brings revenue generation to the community, and I think that's the priority for this council, is revenue generation and job creation. We have lots of infrastructure which we have to maintain in this community, education-wise. You know, everything we do requires money, and we need to start generating our own funds. As we know, the government hasn't increased on funds to Native communities. So our community is still growing, and we have to maintain what we already have. Right now I'm having a lot of fun with the gaming. I've spent a lot of time researching it, and I've been to I think about 5 or 6 meetings now pertaining to gaming, including info sessions. And it's very interesting, and I see a lot of potential for revenue generation through gaming. When I think of gaming, it also comes up as a jurisdictional issue, and for me, that's also one of my main objectives, is to get the recognition that we need from the surrounding governments. So once we obtain that, it'll be easier for Kanietahawi to do business on a global level. That's one of my objectives, is looking for the recognition from our surrounding governments.
Okay, the portfolios that I was hoping to get, I pretty much got. I want to stay on the sports and recreation. I did a lot of work last term on the sports and recreation with the playground and the softball league I started. But I want to build off on that this term, especially with 12 names added to the wall of recognition. Also, there's a playground in the Lot 106 area I want to make sure I see get done. I was also able to attain the police's Peacekeeper Services Board, being that I'm a former peacekeeper. There's obviously 4 former peacekeepers now sitting at the council table, and I want to make sure I stayed involved with the peacekeeper file. I want to stay deeply involved with the Kanietahawi file. I think there's time to make some movement on there now. They've been here 100 years, and I want to really get more involved. I want the community to get more involved in that particular file, meaning what direction do we go from here? The other file that I was hoping to get on, I did, was but more on a small scale, which is the housing. Community members had asked me to get involved with the housing file, which I'm going to do this term. Obviously, Irish Jacobs and Alexis Shackleton are doing a lot of good work on the file. My most important goal is to get the council table to address some of the social issues in our community. There's no specific portfolio on that, but I feel, being that there's 4 police officers that were voted onto the table, I feel that now it's time to walk the talk in regards to this most important issue that's in our community, which is the drug issue, and the council table now has to step up to the plate and really take a long, hard look on how we can combat this drug issue in our community, especially among our youth, who are our future generations.
Yeah, I'm on the ECDEV with a group of council chiefs where we're going to, I guess, try to do whatever we can to bring economic development to the community along with Dewa Dunizakte. We're not leaving them out of the scene, but we are going to work like that as a bigger team with Dewa. I'm on that, and plus I'm on the Iroquois Caucus dealing with 7 Iroquois communities. As the community is well aware, I've been on there since 2004 and still going strong on there. It's very important that we Kahnawake participate with all the Iroquois communities. And I'm on the Joe Wardodo file still. And I am on the housing, which I hold dear to me, and we will be doing a lot more this year regarding the housing. We have a plan that's coming out soon. And I'm on local issues too, any like hydro, all local. Anybody that has a problem, you know, my door's open. I don't care how big the problem is, how small the problem, I'll address it and I'll make sure it gets to this table.
Given the situation that developed in education, I happen to be one of 4 of us that are on the education file on an interim basis, just so that we can get through the final steps in the final stages in the negotiations with respect to our co-management situation with the KCSC and the MCK. I don't think it's any surprise. It's exactly what I thought would be part of my portfolios, and that has to do with the seniority. And a lot of files have become group files, and so that's one of the things about the seniority that was proposed, that it would be the whole table involved with the seniority claim negotiations. And basically what it is, though, the way it turns out is a lot of chiefs have a lot of other portfolios, so there's a lot of conflicting times. And so what's going to happen, it's Mike Delisle who is the lead negotiator, and I will be a second on that. The second thing that I said would also be no great surprise is the justice file, and so I'm on the Justice Commission. And so I'm involved with a lot of the hearings, justice hearings, and then the Justice Commission itself. Another file for which I have a portfolio is economic development. On the QKR files, I'm going to be doing something called municipal relations, and that has to do with our relationship with our neighbors, who are the municipalities. And so I'll be meeting with them, either in their group meetings or individually, to build our working relationship between us, since they are on our lands. You know, it's nice for them to speak with us in a different tone of voice and to be more inclusive.
Well, I'm happy to say that I was able to retain the lands portfolio for this term as the lead on the lands portfolio. That also means that I'm the chair of the Land Management Committee. I also sit on the environment, and I also am the chair for the Joe Wardodo Committee. I'm taking a more active role in intergovernmental relations for this term. I'll be sitting on the KCR, which is the Kahnawake Canada Relations Table, from a lands perspective. So actually what that is meeting with the federal government regularly every month, back and forth there and here. And it's to discuss the issues pertaining to land and membership. You can't talk about Kahnawake lands without talking about Kahnawake membership and vice versa. So what we do is we meet and we discuss the possibilities and how we move our tables forward, and to come to a clear understanding on what we need in terms of land and membership for Kahnawake. Also, I am the new chair of the FAO committee, which is the Finance, Admin, and Operations Committee. So that's dealing with the finances of the Mohawk Council of Kaniewaga and ultimately Kaniewaga. It's a challenge I'm very much looking forward to and I'm very much up to. And I'm also on the Iroquois Caucus, and that's something that I was on as of last term, and it's something that I'd like to stay a part of because there's a lot of issues that pertain to Kaniewaga that also pertain to the rest of our brothers and sisters, across Canada and actually across mostly Quebec and Ontario. I will be focusing a lot of my time on the lands issues and the KCR process to get our lands back.